Very good morning to you and thanks for joining us on The Breakfast. My name is Nyamgul Agaji. Today on the show, we'll be looking at the confirmation of the government of the continuation of the Naira for Crude initiative. We also are going to be talking about the accusation of a PDP chieftain over assassination attempt on his life. He petitioned the President Tinubu over assassination attempt on him. We'll also be looking at what made it to the front pages of some of our national dailies. That will be about 7:30. But before then, we'll be taking some top trending issues. Those are concerns or headlines that caught our fancy in the last 24 hours. But the of the press is the fresh headlines that made it to the front pages today. We're going to take a break now and look at the code for the day. When we return, we do the top trending as well. Stay with us. Our quote for today is from Walt Disney, and it says, "The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing." The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Like I said, it's from Walt Disney, and if you know Walt Disney, he is the creator of the children movies that you know, of the Walt Disney fame. He's no longer with us, but we know his story. And one of the things that stand out about him is that when he brought the idea of children's movies, he was rejected so many times, but he never gave up. Now, in this quote, it tells you that procrastination is not the way out. If you think that you have an idea and you want to bring it to life, it is not by talking. You can't talk it into existence. You do it, and then do not be afraid of failing. Because a lot of people fail more than 500 times at the same thing that they're doing until they get the results that they want. They keep trying and trying, making modifications here and there, learning their lessons and all that. So don't just sit down and talk about the ideas that you have. Try to put them into action. And once you do that, that is when you have really begun. You cannot begin by talking, you begin by doing. The genesis of great things that have been done began with a thought, and after the thought is the action, and after the action we are seeing the manifestation of that action. So remove your idea from the talking stage. Even in a relationship, when you are on the talking stage or in the talking stage, you have not really started until you move from the talking stage to another stage. So in your ideas, in whatever thing that you want to do, remove it from the talking stage now and go to action stage. And at that point, you know that you have something. You may not, like I said, succeed all the time. You could fail several times, but keep at it. Keep at it if you want the result that you want and you're learning the lessons from the failure that you're having. Use that to improve yourself and then improve whatever you're doing, and you will get the perfect one at some point. So never give up, never procrastinate. That is what you should be doing today. That's from Walt Disney. So if you know the success story of Walt Disney now and knowing how he began, then you will know that your story is not peculiar to you. People have failed and risen, but the major thing is that they took action. Okay, we're going straight now to the top trending issues for this morning. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Gbetokun, has ordered a comprehensive deployment of police assets to Plateau State following a series of violent attacks, most notably the massacre in Boko's local government area on March 28, which claimed at least 50 lives. This response highlights the growing insecurity in the region, with many residents fearing for their safety. To address the ongoing violence, the Nigeria Police Force has sent reinforcements, including specialized personnel, drones, helicopters, and armored units to conduct operations aimed at curbing the attacks. DIG Kwazi Yakubu has been tasked with leading this intervention, which will also focus on preventing future violence and bringing perpetrators to justice. In his visit to Plateau on the 8th of April, DIG Kwazi met with the state governor, Barrister Caleb Mutfwang, to discuss solutions and express condolences. The police have called on local communities to cooperate with security forces and provide information to aid in the investigation and ensure lasting peace in the region. It's unfortunate what is happening in Bokos, unfortunate what is happening in Plateau State, Borno State, and every other state that these things are happening, even down south, Enugu, Ondo, and the likes. It's very unfortunate that we are in this kind of security situation. And we do know that the security agencies are trying their best. Maybe their best is not good enough, but even then, it may not be entirely their fault. How much intelligence do they have? How much infrastructure do they have? How much equipment do they have to tackle all this? And is there any political will behind their actions that we can say, okay, they've been given everything, it is their fault that they're not doing what they're doing? Sometimes you want to take action and a certain group of people will come and say, whatever you're doing, you're just trying to kill our people, even though they know that these people are the ones killing everybody around, and you're just sentimental about it. Unless we have someone who has a very, very strong political will, we may still be talking about all these things we're talking about right now. Now, I think this is the best opportunity Nigeria has to deal with this insurgency and banditry in the north and everywhere else. And that's the reason I said this is, first of all, we've never had a Muslim ticket in Nigeria. We've had it now. The president is Muslim, the vice president is Muslim, and if they take action, they're going to take action on a people who majorly belong, or at least claim to belong to, the religion where the president and the vice president belongs to. If a Christian president, for instance, is sitting on the throne and he takes a drastic action on these people, instead of looking at the fact that he's dealing with criminals, they will start saying you're dealing with our religion. It's not criminals that you're dealing with. You're just trying to kill people from our religion and all that. But if this president and his vice president, they sit together and say, you know what, we're going to deal with these people. Because we know, we've been told that Islam is a religion of peace, which means these people are not following Islam the way they should follow. They're extremists. Extremists in any religion are dangerous. You don't do that. So if you really think that these people are criminals, this is the best time to do that, because the next president might not be a Muslim. And so whatever you're doing, sensitivity will be part of it, sentiments will be part of it. A lot of things will come into play, and it might now spiral into something else. So this is the best time. Deal with these people decisively, and everybody will know it's not because of religion. You're dealing with criminals. There will be little or no sentiments attached to that, little or no complaints attached to that, because you are belonging to the same religion. That's what I think. I don't know how other people might reason it, but that's what I think. If, for instance, Jonathan had taken a very drastic step and tried to, remove these people entirely from our society, I'm sure a lot of people would have come out to say he's not killing criminals, he's killing our fellow Muslims and all that. Because I remember the time he was trying to bring up these Almajiri schools, and people were fighting him and saying that is a tradition, that is a religious requirement, even to have people that you can give arms to, people that will be begging on the streets. And I was just wondering why that is even a topic of discussion. So you're saying that begging is a religious requirement, and people should remain in abject poverty so that you can be a good religious person. It didn't make sense to me. But people look for the flimsiest excuses to give when something is not in their favor, or when they just want to stay relevant, and I don't even understand. So I think this is the best opportunity for us. Any action that is taken, people will know, the majority of the people will know it was just for the best interest of Nigeria, not because of any religious sentiments or attachments or anything. And if we miss this chance, we don't know how long it will take us for us to be able to do what we need to do. It is worrisome that any part of the country that you go to, a particular people have their names stained because of a few people. And if nothing is done, people will now begin to think that it is something that was decided by this ethnic group or this particular kind of people and all that, which I'm sure is not true, at least at this moment. So let's fish out these people, deal with them, do whatever we can to make sure that this insecurity goes down. We're looking for investors, we're looking for people to come. Tourists are not coming the way they should come to Nigeria. There are tourist sites that people should come, and it makes a lot of money for any country. Some countries depend solely on tourism, and they're making it. Why can't we, with all the things that we have in Nigeria? So we can't have tourists, we can't have investors because of insecurity and all that. It doesn't make sense to me. So government should sit up and do the needful. It's not just by sending DIG to a place. When you send your troops to that place and you concentrate on that place, what about the other places that they have not started killing? And then you're announcing it even before you send these troops that we are taking a bulk of these people to a particular location, and then they strike somewhere else, and then you take those people again back to it. It doesn't make any sense to me. But we do hope that with the presence of the DIG in Bokos and the surrounding communities, there will be peace and tranquility. Lastma bans eating, drinking, smoking while driving. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, Lastma, has announced a zero-tolerance policy against motorists who eat, drink, or smoke while driving. The agency warned that offenders could face prosecution and even jail terms for violating this rule. Lastma made the statement on its official social media account, emphasizing that such actions are considered an offense under the Lagos State Transport Sector Reform Law 2018. The move comes after concerns raised by Lastma's General Manager, Olalekan Bakare-Oki, about the increasing number of road accidents and unnecessary loss of lives in the state due to driver distractions. Okay, well, first of all, it's good that you've said accidents and all that. I think sometimes you should just need to give us details of why a particular thing is bad. I'm not saying that this is not good enough, but if you give us details, even some people who are passengers, people who are just bystanders and all that, will help you in your work. Because if we know that drinking, maybe water, because you just said drinking can be wine, can be alcohol, can be water or anything. So if it's as vague as that, so will we report the people that are drinking pure water, for instance, to you, because pure water causes distraction and all that? Tell us in details the kind of things that might possibly happen if someone is smoking. For me, if a driver is smoking, I do know that the passengers are also at risk. If smoking gives you cancer, we know that the secondary kind of smoking that you can have if someone is smoking where you are and there is nothing you can do about it, it's an enclosed space. So you are there smoking at the front of the bus. Every breeze that is entering there is coming from the front back to whoever is sitting there. And if you are a non-smoker, it will affect you. If you are someone like me that doesn't smoke, if a driver is smoking, it will affect me. I want to keep my health. So it is not in your place to do what you want to do when I am there. I'm protecting myself, and I don't want to be around someone who is smoking. A lot of passengers might be like that. So don't give someone secondary cancer because you don't care about your own life. And secondly, if you're drinking water, for instance, if you're drinking bottled water, you drink it, you don't finish it, and you put the other one beside you in the car. If something happens and that thing falls down, there's a possibility that you might not know it has fallen. And then you get to a place you need to apply brake. If you've seen videos of this, you will know what I'm talking about. You want to apply brakes, and the bottle of water is behind the pedal or anything else that you need to use at that time. That means you cannot apply that brake, and there might be an accident, which we don't want. That is another thing. Then also you're drinking while driving. You're not even allowed to drink before driving. Now you're drinking while driving. That's a really, really big offense if it is alcohol that you're drinking. And, but they did say that it is distractions. We think that we are experts. Everybody thinks they are experts until an unfortunate event happens. No matter how long you have been driving, there is no assurance, 100% assurance that anytime you drive and every time you drive, you will be safe. You might be safe because you're driving safely, but what about the next person who might be driving crazy? So you have to be alert at all times to make sure that nothing can happen that is your fault. That's what we're trying to say. So if these things bring distractions, please don't do them. It's the same thing as making calls and sending text messages. I see a lot of people sending text messages while driving, not just making calls, text messages. You will be distracted. Even if it's a millisecond, you know that anything can happen in that time. Why not, if it is so urgent, you park by the roadside, make the call, or send the text message, especially text message and all that. But you're putting your life in danger, and not just your life, the lives of other people. Even if you're in the car alone, if an accident happens, what about incoming cars? What about other people who are also using the road? What are you going to do to them? We see accidents involving two vehicles and everybody in both vehicles die. It might not be the fault of the next vehicle, but it is your fault. So let's not allow these things to happen. If these things are distractions, and we know they are distractions, know how to do them. You are thirsty, park and drink. You're driving, never drink alcohol. You're driving, do not do all other things. Do not smoke, especially if you're driving in a public bus, or you're driving a public bus, or a public kind of transportation. You have a car that you're using for Uber, for instance, and you wind up and then you're smoking inside. Who does that? It's not right. So, Lastma, we're looking at how you are going to enforce this. Good luck to you. Now, Vice Admiral Ibawete Ekwe-Ibas, the sole administrator of Rivers State, has approved the appointment of administrators for all 23 local government areas. The announcement was made through an official statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Ibibia Warika. The appointments are effective from April 7, 2025. The statement also mentioned that the governor has reconstituted, or the sole administrator has reconstituted boards for several suspended government agencies, commissions, parastatals. However, the identities of the new administrators were not revealed in the announcement. This development comes shortly after a federal high court in Port Harcourt issued a restraining order preventing the sole administrator from appointing the new administrators. The order, made by Justice Adam Mohammed, follows a lawsuit filed by the PLEX Center for Civic Education Initiative. Well, what can I say? There's been a law, there's been a judgment from the court that he can never do this. I think also the National Assembly, the House of Representatives, I think, was also saying that he doesn't have right to appoint administrators for local governments and all that. But he still went ahead and did it. He went ahead and did it anyway. Why? Because it seems as if we are a lawless kind of people. If the court says no to a thing, why are you doing it? If the National Assembly, at least part of it, is saying that you shouldn't do it, then why are you doing it? And a lot of people would say, and you'll be forced to agree with them, that when a child comes early in the morning to look for your trouble, do not think it is the child. There's someone somewhere hiding to make sure that you fall into the trap, and so you be careful. So a child cannot do that unless there is some kind of support from somewhere greater than you. So where is he getting his powers from? Where is he getting the kind of courage to do what he's doing, even to think that is above the law? A court will pronounce judgment, and then you would say, to hell with the courts, and then you go ahead and do what you're doing. That is what we're turning into. Courts cannot make any pronouncements, and we obey. We don't obey the law. We're a lawless society. And when I say we're a lawless society, it doesn't mean that everybody in the society is lawless. Everybody in the society could be lawless, but there are people who think and act like they are above the law. And actually, the law doesn't do anything to them. Until now, we're still trying to battle the fact that the government now in place in River State is illegal. And in fact, the PDP governors all collectively have gone to the court to say that that emergency rule should be cancelled. It's in the courts right now. I don't know why it took them this long anyway, but whatever their reason might be, maybe they were putting their acts together and getting their evidences or anything that they needed to do before they filed that suit. But the suit is in court right now. So we're still trying to talk about how legal or otherwise this rule is, and the sole administrator is arrogating powers to himself and appointing sole administrators for local government areas. Maybe the game plan is just for the local government elections coming up later on this year, so that the local governments and everything Rivers can be captured for one political party. We don't know that. But it is so disheartening and heartbreaking that our leaders will keep breaking the law all the time, and then they tell us to be good Nigerians and abide by the law. We can't even air out our views, we can't protest, we can't say anything. We're being gagged all the time. Well, there's only so much people can take. I don't want to be around to see when all these bottled up feelings will no longer have space in the Nigerian heart. I don't want to be around to see that. I hope it never happens, but someday, sometimes, it might be too much for us to handle. We are not praying for that. But our leaders cannot keep being lawless. Our leaders cannot keep telling us that they can do anything they like and nothing will happen, because they have the means to bribe people to use hunger against us and do whatever they want to do. Well, let's quickly go to another one. The Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, Dr. Abubakar Dansoho, has urged traders and investors to take advantage of the simplified export process offered by the NPA. Speaking at the 36th Enugu International Trade Fair, he highlighted the NPA's efforts to boost Nigeria's economy and promote balanced trade, especially by establishing export process terminals, EPTs, to streamline the export process. Dr. Dansoho explained that the EPTs serve as one-stop facilities for cargo consolidation, packaging, certification, and shipment, significantly reducing bureaucratic delays. These terminals are also linked with domestic export warehouses dues to create pathways for small and medium enterprises to participate in the export value chain, aligning the federal government's ease of doing business with initiatives. Dr. Dansoho shared the NPA is working towards fully automating its process and implementing the National Single Window, NSW. He commended the Enugu Chamber of Commerce for its role in making the trade fair a global attraction and noted that Enugu's strategic location presents significant export opportunities for the country. Well, whatever you're doing, if you know that it's going to help Nigerians, continue to do it. And for those people who might need this, take advantage. Sometimes things happen that are very, very good in our country, and we highlight them as well. So if this is what the NPA is doing, I wish that they could just do it and then tell us, not that we're working on it and when it comes, take advantage and all that. Let them do it and create more sensitization for people to know that these things are available. Sometimes, like the good book says, my people die for lack of knowledge. Sometimes it's just because we don't know these things exist. There are some, for instance, there are some loans that are available for farmers and for businesses and all that. People do not even know about them because there's no sensitization. Maybe because a lot of people who are in charge just want those who are close to them to know about it. And I don't know how that works. But if there is a lofty program by the government or even the private sector that will benefit the people, let's make noise more about it. And not just make noise about the things that do not matter because you just want to be out there and tell the people that you're working. They're the things that we really need that are available, nobody's talking about them. So NPA, kudos to you if you're this innovative, but make sure people hear more about it. It's not just going to Enugu Trade Fair. If I were not in the media right now reading this and trying to get more information about it, I might not even know about it. How many people can now put on their television at this time that I'm even talking to hear me? How many people can now buy internet and subscribe and get the information that you're putting out? So be more aggressive in your information if you have something that people can benefit, whether it needs to go to the villages and tell the town criers or something, village chiefs or all that. Let people know. You never know who might need it. So it's not enough to go to big places to make these pronouncements and say we have told everybody about it. It's not enough. Do flyers, do adverts, do some kind of whatever it is. Let people know about it so that they can take advantage. At least in a gloomy situation, you could see some light, and then you take advantage of the light and make your life a little bit better. We'll take a short break and return with the headlines. Stay with us.